couldn't quite understand how someone would make a living or support it. Yeah, always. I mean, I think that's part of being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Is, the vision always just kind of gets bigger and bigger, and it's funny. Just this year, I actually hired a marketing company to handle all aspects of marketing, advertising, and so that's something I've been looking for years, just because that's not my sole expertise. To say, hey, you know what, this is a solid, proven marketing plan, and I'm really excited to get that started. Actually, so we started, but to get it implemented, I should say. I mean, one would be stay focused. You must be focused. As a small business entrepreneur, I always say wear a lot of different hats in the business. If you go get a job, you usually have one task that you're responsible for, and you run a small business. You certainly have a lot of different tasks that you're responsible for. So focus, time management is key. It's very easy to get lost in things that aren't as important as some other things, and not be scared of a little hard work. Or, keep your ears open. Sometimes even customers that, whatever type of business you're in, might have some good feedback. So always listen, always be open for new ideas, and most importantly, work hard.
Awesome.
Well, I think it was probably answered in some of the previous questions, that I didn't have the proper level of education going in. And that was something that made me struggle for many years, because I didn't have those, the education that you're getting now. And I always say I learned most of my lessons the hard way. And when you learn a lesson the hard way in business, that means you lost money. I think that was probably my biggest mistake when I went out on my own. I should have gotten a better education before I did it. But luckily I'm a hard worker, so it worked out. I mean, there's a lot of them. Today's market is online, like we discussed, and we've won multiple awards. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but the Courier Post, the newspaper, every year they have a best of South Jersey, and we won categories. And that's where we kind of concentrate anyway, South Jersey. Angie's List is a big, everybody's heard of Angie's List, I guess, and we won what they call the Super Service Award in our categories, because there's 1,000 different. And there's another kind of big guy out there like Angie's List. It's called Home Advisor, and we won the Best of Home Advisor in the categories that we're in. And a lot of them are due to customer feedback. Every single customer that we do a service for in our categories gives some feedback. It's all number related, 5 stars and all that. And that's how we ended up winning, because our feedback from our customers is so great. That's something that I'm very proud of.
Yeah, I bet.
It's not only me that's out there servicing, whatever it is that we're doing. It's my group of guys, or that's Wendy in the office, and so it's kind of a good all-around team. So that's certainly the most proud moment, is when I get good feedback from my customers.
So, what was the biggest job do you think you've done, for any of your services?
Well, I'll tell you what, for pest control, that was the biggest job.
Oh, yeah.
There's, I can't even remember. There was how many actual buildings that were serviced on a monthly basis for the turnpike, but I mean, it runs, from Delaware to New York, and that was a pretty big task. And if they had any issues between those services, we had to hightail it and get up there. And it always seemed that any certain callbacks were always on like exit 18, you know, above Manhattan. So, you know, that's a half a day's work for one little tiny stop.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say that's the biggest contract we've ever had. We did, like I mentioned, Clearview High School. We did 2 different roofs over there, roof replacement jobs, and one of the buildings we had 10 guys on site working for 2 days. Roofing goes pretty fast, but it was a pretty big project because most houses are roof replacements are one-day jobs. You know, and you know, to have 10 guys on site and everybody know exactly what they're supposed to be doing and keeping everyone busy isn't nearly as easy as it sounds.
So. Yeah. So it's going to be that, oh, there's 10 guys, I can sit down for a minute.
Management is key. Well, it depends on what division they're in. Pest control guys have to wear long sleeve shirts, long pants, and we all have basically shirts with logos on them, and you know, the roofing guys, they're allowed to wear, you know, hooded sweatshirts and, you know, jackets. Sometimes it's cold, so it varies. But you know, me, it's either, you know, either the old collared shirt or the hooded sweatshirt. It really depends on what hat I'm wearing that day. And you know, if I'm on the job, you know, like the rest of the guys. And pest control is the most crucial, and you know, long sleeves and long pants are actually a state law.
Yeah.
When you're applying any type of pesticide, you have to be covered. I do, and that's something that I learned through my business coach. You have to have a job description. I said, wow, I never thought about that. You know, and that allows me to instill my vision in the employees. Like when, you know, because they're most of the time they're out at a customer's house, and I'm not there.
Yeah.
So by giving them that criteria, they know exactly what to do in most situations.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome.
I wish you luck in the future.
Your business luck too.